afternoon. I'm Rob Boskamp, and you're listening to South Texas Midday. General election happens tomorrow, and KEDT has observed that less than 10% of our listening area went to the polls for early voting. Elections across the area include the Corpus Christi ISD Board of Trustees elections, Flower Bluff ISD's 3 bond proposals totaling $193 million for facility improvements, and the City of Victoria is hoping voters will respond to the need for improvements to the Victoria Community Center. Also on the ballot for Rio Grande Valley residents, they will decide whether to incorporate the area around SpaceX into the city of Starbase. Elon Musk has wanted to create his own city in Texas for years. Tomorrow, he could get his wish. Texas Newsroom investigative reporter Lauren McGahee got a document that sheds more light on the soon-to-be city of Starbase.
On Saturday, residents who live in and around SpaceX's rocket testing and launch facility in South Texas will vote on whether to incorporate the area as a new city. The Texas Newsroom obtained a list of the 283 voters eligible to cast a ballot in the election. Our analysis shows that at least 2/3 either work for Musk or have already signed a petition supporting the new city. Musk himself is on the list, but it's not clear he'll cast a ballot this weekend. If the vote passes, Musk also wants lawmakers to give him more control to close the public beach near the rocket launch site. I'm Lauren McGahee in Austin.
Sunrise Mall is nearly gone, and now the clock is ticking to finish what's left. Corpus Christi city officials said developers must complete demolition and clear remaining debris from the site before hurricane season kicks off on June 1st. The new deadline was set after city officials saw progress being made after yesterday's initial deadline. The project, located in the geographic center of the city, is part of a multi-million-dollar redevelopment plan that includes multifamily housing, hotels, and retail. The initial zoning request for the project's first phase, referred to as Lot 5, is expected to go before City Council within the next 6 weeks. City officials said the developer recently resumed demolition. Development Services Department has pledged to monitor the site daily to ensure it's not causing problems for neighboring properties. If all goes according to plan, zoning, platting, and building permits could be approved in the coming months, with construction on the new projects possibly beginning next year. The next step in the proposed transfer of the University of Houston Victoria to the Texas A&M University system happens today. The Texas House is scheduled to consider House Bill 5150. The bill, filed by Representative A.J. Louderback of District 30, would move UHV from the University of Houston system to the Texas A&M system. It's the first bill Louderback has carried to the House floor. Support for the move has come from Victoria Mayor Dwayne Crocker, Victoria County Judge Ben Zeller, and UHV President Bob Glenn. The bill was presented to the House last month. The Senate has already passed the measure. If the House approves it today, it will head to Governor Greg Abbott for his signature. Back in January, the Autonomy Research Institute at Texas A&M Corpus Christi was one of 28 programs applying to lead the Center for Advanced Aviation Technologies for the FAA. Late last month, it was announced that the program had been selected. The $140 million 4-year contract is expected to revolutionize air travel and delivery. Spencer Chioc has more.
According to Executive Director of the Autonomy Research Institute at Texas A&M University Corpus Christi, Michael Sanders, commercial drone taxi services are closer than you think.
You're going to see it as early as next year in 2026 because there are some plans to be able to demonstrate these large aircraft operating safely, and then we're looking at viable commercial services by 2030.
To make this possible, the FAA and the ARI will be establishing the Center for Advanced Aviation Technologies, or CAT. The goal is to create safety regulations and integrate advanced air mobility drones into the national airspace system.
What advanced air mobility is really going to do, and what CAT is going to do to enable advanced air mobility, is let the large drones, so think Whisk, Joby, Archer, the flying taxis, as you were, that can fly 4 to 6 people in an urban environment or, from a rural environment into a major airport. But also think of the middle mile delivery, or what we would call, up to 50 pounds, for example, being able to fly 100, 200, 300 miles to really serve either underutilized or underserved areas, think rural areas.
CAT will be based in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but the demonstration zones are spread out across the state.
We submitted 4 demonstration zones. One was in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, really led by the University of North Texas and the North Central Texas COG. In Corpus Christi, where we've already currently been operating, we have 6 advanced air mobility corridors, plus about 5,000 square miles in the Port Mansfield area down in Raymondsville. We most recently created this corridor in Pleasanton that links Pleasanton to Corpus Christi, which is basically parallel to the I-37 corridor. So you're going to see these things operating from there. And then really the Brazos Valley as well, south of Dallas, north of Houston, the Relish campus, College Station, Bryan, because it is smack dab in the middle of, Dallas Metroplex, the Houston Metroplex.
The drones are called eVTOLs. They take off and land like a helicopter and fly forward like a plane. They are expected to reduce greenhouse gas consumption by as much as 94% and emissions by as much as 84%. The economic impact will be just as great, with an expected 280,000 jobs being added by 2035, according to a Deloitte study. For KEDT News, I'm Spencer Chihawk.
The Brownlee Boulevard and Air Street intersection will be closed for 2 weeks beginning tomorrow as part of the ongoing Brownlee Boulevard reconstruction project. This work will allow the contractor to connect the 42-inch storm sewer system with improved piping and infrastructure. The full project is expected to be completed by spring 2026. Motorists traveling through this area must follow the posted detour signs to navigate the construction zone. Detours will be marked to ensure minimal disruption and maintain traffic flow. Tomorrow, Texas Governor Greg Abbott will sign what he's billed as school choice legislation into law. For years, creating education savings accounts for Texas has been a main focus of Governor Abbott and other top Texas officials. Saturday, that long-awaited dream will come true. Abbott is holding a bill signing ceremony for Senate Bill 2 at his mansion in downtown Austin. The bill creates a $1 billion school voucher program. Advocacy groups, top legislative leaders, and SB 2 sponsors are scheduled to join him. House Education Committee Chairman Brad Buckley carried the bill in the House. He told the Texas Newsroom he thinks it's a win for education.
Giving parents every option there is to provide the best pathway for their kids.
While it's the most controversial measure to reach Abbott's desk so far this session, it's been a priority for the governor and some parents. The Texas Newsroom's Blaze Gainey spoke to one group that's been fighting to get vouchers passed for a decade.
The Libre initiative works to advance a variety of policies it believes helps Hispanics in Texas. On the education front, Libre has long been pushing for what they call school choice. Jorge Martinez says the group spent years telling people about ESAs.
I would say, look, if you're hungry and you want a burger, you want to go to McDonald's, do you pay McDonald's or do you pay Burger King? And people were like, well, you pay McDonald's. Absolutely. So then why is it that if I decide to send my child to a charter school or a private school, that I'm still paying the other school district?
Martinez says that argument won people over. Now that SB 2 is being signed, he believes it'll give the Hispanic community a leg up when trying to find the best education for their kids. I'm Blaze Gainey in Austin.
A Texas House committee has passed its own version of a Senate bill banning the sale of most consumable hemp products. Houston Public Media's Andrew Schneider says the substitute is substantially different from the original, setting up a showdown between the chambers.
The committee substitute for Senate Bill 3 would ban some consumable hemp products from sale, but it would allow others, subject to regulation and taxation.
It bans vapes, it bans vape shops, it bans all synthetics. Delta 9, the natural flower that's grown and sold in Texas, would remain.
Representative Ken King chairs the House State Affairs Committee.
There's a permit and a fee structure. There's language in the bill that prohibits deceptive packaging to attract children.
If the substitute passes the full House, the Senate will have the options of either adopting it or forcing a conference committee to come up with a compromise both can accept. I'm Andrew Schneider in Houston.
Officials at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport yesterday announced a major investment in its forthcoming new terminal. KERA's Pablo Pena reports Terminal F will now be twice as big as originally planned.
American Airlines partnered with DFW Airport to announce the $4 billion investment. Terminal F will now have 31 gates, along with a new parking garage and areas for ticketing, check-in, and baggage claim. Sean Donahue is the outgoing CEO for the airport.
By far, this is the most consequential project at DFW in over 20 years since we opened Terminal D.
Terminal F will be the airport's 6th terminal. It's scheduled to be operational by 2027. I'm Pablo Arauz Peña in Dallas.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the weekend. The 87th Annual Buck Days Festival kicked off yesterday, bringing rides, games, and scholarship opportunities to the community. The festival, which runs through May 11th, features carnival attractions for all ages. For a list of musical performances, schedules, and more information, visit buckdays.com. The century-old Luther Hotel in Palacios is opening its doors one more time, not for overnight guests, but for those who hold memories of the historic landmark. Through Sunday, the public is invited to the Love the Luther giveaway, a special event where visitors can take home furnishings, books, china, and other items from the hotel free of charge. The giveaway is hosted by new owner J.P. Bryan as a tribute to the hotel's strong ties to Texas history. Bryan said the event honors the legacy of the building and the many lives it has touched over the years. And with wet weather being likely this weekend, we may see some actual stormtroopers in Brownsville tomorrow. Hopefully the force is stronger than my jokes. The only Star Wars fan celebration in South Texas, however, is still set for tomorrow. Rebel Fest lands at Brownsville's Linear Park tomorrow from 6 to 10 p.m. The free family-oriented event will include galactic entertainment, local vendors, costume contests with categories for adults, teens, kids, and even pets, and the crowd-favorite Wookiee War contest, where fans can show off their best Chewbacca impression for a chance to win $100 cash. And with that said, may the Force be with you on this Friday and also on Sunday because it's Star Wars Day. And that is the latest news and information on South Texas Midday. I'm Rob Boskamp. Your community arts calendar and more is on the way.